So today we have Florian Marku. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And you, Talia?
I'm good, thank you. I'm doing very well. Floor is completely over to you.
Yes, I'm gonna say about how I started. First of all, kickboxing, because like this I started. I was in Greece. I was around 12 years old. Before that, I was a football player. I love to play football, but in a football match, I broke my foot, and I had to give up. I couldn't run. I couldn't do, and I didn't like too much football, but it was everyone was playing football when I was young, and I said, okay, let's try it. I didn't like it at all, but after some time, it was a gym, boxing gym in my neighbor. I go one day to see how they gonna box, and I love it. I felt straight in love with the art of boxing, because it's not only about fighting, is everything. You must be smart, clever. Is not is endurance, is discipline. You need to become very good in boxing. You need all of that. And I go in the first day in a boxing gym, and from that day I never stopped. I started with the kickboxing, but before, because of my papers, I have Albanian passport, and in Greece, it was a problem for me to go in a boxing because it needed more papers about the government there. And I started the kickboxing. I had in kickboxing in all my career, I had 110 kickboxing fights, and I lost only four of them. I was good. I loved kickboxing, but it was not very popular back then. And but it was I win all the titles in Greece. I started becoming really popular in Europe. I win some belts. I win two times the world title in a kickboxing. But after that, I turned to MMA in the cage, how they say it. And I start fighting in a cage. I love it. Back then was the Conor McGregor when he started becoming very famous, and I start loving all the training, the thing, and I won seven of my fights in MMA. But in one fight, I dislocated my left finger, and then the problem with my hand starts. You know that many people doesn't know. I was in a fight with him, in a very popular fight. You should go and check that fight out. Is me against Bitakos is his name. And in the first round, when I start hitting the other guy, I dislocated my finger, and I start feeling it numb. Very very bad pain in my hand. But I didn't give up the fight. I put my finger in the place. I start keep going, but my hand was really, really bad. After the fight, I go. Then was my first operation that I had in my life from the boxing career. This took me around 6 months. It was a really hard situation for me because I never learned to stay out of the gym so long. And it for me 6 months to stay out of training, out of sweating, out of boxing was really, really hard situation. But with first of all, with discipline, and I loved what I was doing, and I was never wanted to give up. I start keep going. Then I turned to boxing. I had much problem with MMA. I couldn't grab anymore. The MMA was much different for me, much difficult about the grappling. Needed many things to adapt to it. And I came in boxing. I came in UK about. I had the offer from some organizer that was here in UK, but they was the big liars. They say, yeah, I had the offer from two promoters that they was a big liars. They told me that you're gonna come here, you're gonna have everything ready for you, you're gonna have a home, you're gonna have a car, everything. And I was really happy. We signed the contract, and after I came here with my family, I realized that everything was a really, really lie, big lie. They didn't know nothing about boxing. They was big liars. And I was happy that I came in UK because from Albania with the papers and the things a little bit complicated to come to this country. You need a visa is a little bit different story that most of people doesn't know. And I came here. I was happy that I came. Sorry. I was happy that I came in UK, and I decided me and my family to stay. But of course, it was really difficult at the beginning because I didn't know nobody. The crowd, the promoters didn't know me here, and it was a little bit hard at the beginning. But I was telling to the promoters that, hey, I can feel the stadium. I know how people support me. I had a big name back home in Europe, and nobody believed me, you know. And after I found a small promoter that made a show about me, and my first fight was in York Hall. I think you have heard about it. And, and I sold around 1,800 tickets to this event, and everyone was surprised. And then my career here, it started from the beginning. But from a small age, I had really problem on my hands. I started winning the fights. At my sixth fight, I had a fight with Jamie Stewart, is his name. I fight in Eddie Hearn show, and they give me a draw. This was my worst moment in my boxing career so far, because I have never experienced a loss in the last 11 years. You know, for me, it was really hard to feel something like this, because I am very dedicated in the sport, and when they give me the draw, I was really sad. But it's okay. They give me one hard fight. Ryland Charlton was undefeated, was really good, popular in this country. And I decided, I say yes, of course, because I wanted to go straight in the fire. I wanted, after the draw, I wanted to take what's mine, you understand? And I decided, okay, I'm going to fight this guy. Before the fight with him, 2 weeks before the fight, I dislocate my left finger. And this was one of the worst moments of my life, because the people was thinking that, oh, Florian is not so good. They give him a draw, because people, they doesn't know how was the situation, what happened about the draw. The referee was against me and all these things, and I was so mad with that. And I wanted only to go to fight with this Ryland Charlton, to beat him and to take what's mine, you know. And yeah, 2 weeks before the fight, I dislocated my left finger, and this was my hardest moment till that time. But I had the choice, or to give up the fight, to not fight, you know, and to take it like 2-3 months later on, or to make it to make the fight how I was. And I decided I must fight, because I couldn't give up. You know, I wanted to go to finish him, but nobody knew about that. I trained only with my right hand. I finished the 2 weeks that left. We go to the fight. Nobody knew about it, nothing. And when I was putting my glove, my left glove, I couldn't feel my thumb. I was telling my trainer, hey, touch it. Is my thumb in? Because you know how it is. You have wear gloves. You know how it is. You know, I I told him, is my thumb, because I couldn't feel it. Was so numb, my left hand. And we go to the fight. I beat the other guy. I win him. I stop him. I stop him at the 8th round, and everything was okay. Very happy. Straight after the fight, I go and I operate my left my left hand. This take around 5 months out of training, out of couldn't do nothing. I was a really important position on my career, you know, and I was feeling like I'm losing time, what I'm gonna do, why I'm not fighting. But here I am today, you know. I think everything happened for a reason. I had many injuries. I had again another injury. After that, everything was good. I made 2 fights. I win again, and I hurt my right hand in a fight. The right hand, I had always problem with it. And before one big fight, I injured it again in the training, and I had to put screws inside. I don't know if you know. They fused me to. They fused the bones with the screws, and this was really hard, because it was around 1.5 years before. The injuries have taken a lot out of me, but I think they make you stronger mentally, you know, because it shows you how much you never give up. Life, I think, is about going forward. You cannot never stop. It never is the end if you love something. And me, the people who knows my story knows how much I love boxing and how much I want to achieve. And that I think is that make me a different fighters than the others. The other people, they broke one time the hand and it's the end of the world. I think everything needs his time.
Yeah, so how many operations have you had?
2 on my left one and 3 on my right hand. Exactly. Very difficult. But
That's the mental strength, isn't it? The fact that you could do that with your mental strength to go into the fight, knowing you dislocated thumb.
exactly. I think that is my difference from these other fighters, because imagine to go to a boxing fight that you have only your 2 hands with one hand and to believe 100% that you're gonna beat the other guy. But that's me, and that is, I think, that I have win most of my fights because of my belief. But I don't say that it was a correct decision that I fought with one hand, but at the end of the day I won the fight and we are happy and we are okay.
Yeah, exactly. So where do you think your mental strength and kind of the belief comes from?
I think from a small age it was the thing that how I built myself up, training. Uh, One day happened in the training. I tell you a small story. I was in in kickboxing, and one guy from the bigger than me, they give me a kick to the head because I have break so many things in my life. For other people, it looks like wow, he break his hand, but for me, I break so many things. And he give me a kick, and I turn to my trainer and I say, listen, I think I broke my hand. He say, no way. He say, if you was breaking your hand, you will start crying, because I was young. I was 15 years old. And I say, no,
Yeah.
I broke it. And I go then this night, I go to the hospital. They make me X-ray. I go next day to the trainer with the jeep, how you say, the white thing. Yes, the cost. And I say, you see, I told you. But I keep going. This day I was keep going the training, but nobody believed that I broke it. And yeah.
And I do believe as well everything happens for a reason. Everything that we go through happens 100%, and they do make us stronger, especially our injuries, and not just physically stronger. Yes, physically stronger, because when you are coming back from a physical injury or an operation or something like that, you have to become stronger. Your muscles have to become stronger, so you do end up, most people do end up in a way becoming stronger. But it's a mental strength as well.
I think that's the most important. People cannot realize how strong is the mind, how strong is the belief. I think the mind is everything about our body. For me, now when I have an injury, I don't see it so bad. Oh my God, what I'm gonna do? How I see it like a positive. Okay, I'm gonna recover faster. What I'm gonna do this time that will be off of the gym. But before that, when I had the small injuries, I was saying, oh my God, how I gonna do that? How I gonna do this? But now it's fine, because the job that I do is normally for injury. But many people, like you told me about your story that you have with your accident, is big, to not be able to walk like you want is really hard for mental for the mind, and especially for one girl, because we men is something different. We have a lot of injuries in our life because it's the life that is. But yes, is unbelievable.
Yeah, definitely. No, I understand completely. And I think that's the thing yes, mine was my legs, but yours is your hands. And it doesn't matter whether it's your legs or your hands or your shoulder or anything. It doesn't matter about what part of your body, if it is a physical injury, because it affects everybody differently, and their way of life, and what they have to do, and how they adapt to just living. And I guess that's the thing, is like when you said, during your first injury, you'd never spent so much time not in the gym.
Yes.
How did you find that first time really affected your mental health per se?
Oh my God, really bad, because I haven't learned to stay. I didn't know how it is to stay out of the gym, And at the beginning, it was hard because I was thinking what I'm gonna do this time. After that, I realized that I should do something else that take my mind out and to be positive about it. What happened? That I'm gonna come back stronger than it was, and everything in every injury that I had in my life, I became much stronger after that. And this is the
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, no, of course. And also, we were chatting before this actually about especially to do with men and mental health and speaking out loud. We were saying, you said that a lot of the time women obviously express themselves a lot easier than men do, and men can struggle to talk about suffering or going through any kind of recovery, especially with regards to mental health. How do you kind of see that as a man, for instance?
Yes, because in the world that we live today, men doesn't speak about pain, about struggles in the life, about mental things, but as the time goes and we say about the years now, more men have started talking about their life, how many problems, how difficult life is, but I think you must express yourself, that will make you much better to talk with someone, because we hear so many things about suicides and things that people do, It's hard. It's hard. I think everyone should, first of all, train. The most important that they take their mind out of stress, anxiety, and all these mental things, if they are not injured, of course. And then to
Yeah.
take care of themselves, to eat good, because people they doesn't understand how serious is when you take care of your body, how much better you feel when you eat good, when you train. When I think to feel good, you must first take care of you, and then for the others.
Yeah.
If you don't care of yourself, you will not care about nobody else, and you'll be sad. And I say to my friends also, because most of my friends, they eat rubbish. They eat bad, and they doesn't train, they go away party, and they come in a point that they say, oh, I'm sad, what I'm gonna do about life. They have everything and they feel sad.
Mhm.
And I think everyone that have problems with mental health or things, they must first of all train, second eat good, and take
Yeah.
care of themselves. That's, I think, is the most important.
Yeah, I think taking care of yourself, a lot of people underestimate how amazing taking care of yourself really is. And I think it's hard for a lot of people because whatever people are going through, taking care of themselves, it's so easy to forget to take care of themselves. It's so easy. And a lot of people will sometimes put others first, take care of others, but you are the most important person to you. 100%.
Very true.
So, yeah, 100%.
Yes, the most important thing, I think, is to take care of yourself, and then you can take care of the world, because you can, if you are good, you will give positive energy also to the others. If you are, yeah.
Yeah, it is definitely about your own positive energy and how, if you are feeling good, how you put yourself out into the world. Definitely. And like we were saying, everything happens for a reason. Why do you think everything happens for a reason? On your own personal, what you've been through, why do you think for yourself everything happens for a reason?
First of all, me, I'm a strong believer in God. I believe in God, and I believe everything is right, but is right and how positive and how good you are with the people. If you are good, I think good will come back to you. I think you must be kind with everyone. I think the key of happiness in this life is to make other people happy. We say you can start your day positive from the morning. You wake up in the morning, you see somebody in the street struggling, and you help him. I think this gives you happiness, and I think this is something that God will give back to you in the return. And me, how like this I live my life, and I think everything happened for a reason, but some things you created also. to be a good person.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think you must be positive first of all with yourself. How is something they say a word like how you are, how you see yourself, you see also the others. If you are happy and you are positive, you will see the world positive. If you are sad and you are depressed, you will see all the world like this. But if you start the day with positive,
Yeah. Yeah, it's waking up and starting with a positive mind. Even if you're in a very bad place, even if you can say one tiny positive thing to yourself.
Exactly. I think every person have time like 1 hour per day to take care of themselves. Everyone. But most of people are lazy, and when you let you let yourself 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, and then you start getting depressed, especially in this country with the weather. You understand? Yeah, it's true. When you don't care about yourself, then it became like a stone. It became big. You understand? If you don't care, you must take care of yourself. 1 hour per day is nothing. Everyone can train. Everyone can look what they're eating. I think the most important thing is that.
Yeah, 100%. And if you had any advice to give to somebody that's going through any dark time, maybe even if it is, say they're going through something that they love to do and they've had to stop doing it. You obviously had to stop when you had your, injuries and your operations. What would you say to somebody that comes to you for advice?
If they really love it, they must never give up, because if they really love it, at the end they're gonna achieve what they want and what they desire. If they doesn't love it really, then what can I say? But if they love it, nothing can stop them. No injuries. Trust me when I say I had a lot of injuries, but nothing couldn't stop me to be where I am. Not that I am in a position now that I'm happy, but from where I started to where I am, oh my God, is a huge difference.
Yeah. And your dreams are coming true, aren't they?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I fought. My last fight was in the 20th of August, and I fought in my home country in Albania. I fought in a football stadium. It was around 20,000 capacity, and this was my dream coming true when I was young. When I started, I couldn't imagine that I will headline a show like this. And yes, with hard work, with its injuries, and everything, with hard work and desire.
Well, you never give up, and that's the thing. You're not going to give up. So.
Never. That is my mindset from a small kid. Never giving up.
Yeah, totally. Can I ask when your next fight is, or what have you got in the pipeline? Whatever you're allowed to say.
No, I think my next fight will be around the end of January or February. A big fight here in London.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, you will be there.
I will be there. Well, now you've said it on the podcast, and it's on being recorded. I'll be there.
Yes, sure.
You can't go back on this. I'm going to be there.
No.
In the crowd, so.
You recorded. You have it here. It's done.
Exactly. But you and I, we are going to spar again one day. We are not even again. We are going to spar one day, aren't we?
No, 100%. I told you. Bring the gloves.
Yeah, 100% we will. I'm not sure when I can box, but I'm pretty sure it's soon. But we're going to do it 100%.
Perfect.
So anyway, it's been an absolute pleasure. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
I think we said all. I wanted to say these things, about the people to hear some things about my story. I'm writing also. We are writing my book, and a lot of things that people are gonna read it and they say, "Wow, they're gonna be surprised about my life and about my desire."
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the thing. A lot of people don't realize somebody's story, really. They can see someone from the outside. They can judge someone from the outside. But people don't really get to know somebody inside. And I think once you hear somebody's story, it can change people's lives.
100%. You're right.